Good morning. It is now 11 a.m. and I am Mr. Russo, your summer eClass principal. I'm coming to you live from the board office using Google Hangouts on air. So just letting everyone know they can enter into the chat area. I'm monitoring the chat and I welcome everyone here. I see there's quite a few of you. Hello to you all. You're being all cordial and friendly with one another, which is awesome. I hope everyone is doing well and enjoying the summer. So really this is an opportunity for you to connect with me, your principal, ask any questions and just, come across any updates regarding the program. And really me trying to reach out and let you know what's happening within the program and any changes and just really trying to support you to make sure that you're on a path to success. So before I go to the chats or the chat area for the questions and comments that have come in from our students and teachers and parents, whomever received notification of this broadcast, I just want to highlight a few things. So we are heading into midterms for our session 1 eClass students and teachers. So you're going to want to make sure that you're working very closely with your teacher and your students, your fellow classmates within your course. And you want to make sure that you're up to date or that you have a plan in place that both you and your teacher know about that will definitely set you up in terms of being ready to receive your midterm mark. And so what does that mean? That means that you're all caught up with your work, or that you're submitting work in time for teachers to give you that timely feedback. So have those conversations on a regular basis, okay? So we are coming up on midterms. Just a quick segue into picking up your midterm. I've sent out through each teacher to share with students, should any students require a copy, an actual paper copy of their midterm report card, they can request it using a Google form that's been shared. So your teachers will post this Google form within your course, and then you can request a copy of your midterm report card. But please note that midterm report cards won't be able to be picked up until the afternoon on Monday. Okay, so this Monday that's coming is in the afternoon. You'll be able to, if you request a midterm report card, we will try to have it ready for you by Monday afternoon after 1 p.m. Okay? And then for the rest of the week, so the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you can pick up your report card at the board office. That is the midterm report card at the board office at 80 Shepherd Avenue East between the hours of 10 to 4 p.m. And again, we'd appreciate it if you can make sure that you request a midterm report card, because we're not going to have them printed for anyone and everyone unless you've requested a printout. Okay, just scanning the chat here. So how do I sign up my email from Isabel? How do I sign up my email to get my report card? When I put my email, thanks Isabel, I noticed that when I created that question in the Google form, that somehow the data validation option came up, and my apologies on that. I corrected that this morning. So if you go back into the Google form to request a midterm report card, you should now be able to enter an email address and not have any issues, okay? Max, yes, you have a principal, absolutely. A principal that is very excited to be your principal, because we continue to grow and this program continues to be a viable option for every student. And we've grown, I would say, at least 25%. We're almost up to 6,000 students that are registered and active within our online course, within an online course between sessions 1 and sessions 2. So it's pretty awesome, and I'm always here to support you guys. Parth Sareen, hey, when is the last day to drop the course without it showing up on your report card? So for session 1, the last day to drop your course is the same day that midterms are due, which is this Friday. So what you're going to want to do is know where you stand in your course. You want to know what your mark is, you want to know how your mark came to be, and you want to know what the plan is going forward. You know, how are you going to achieve what you know you are capable to achieve? And if you think that you're unable to achieve based on whatever your mark is by this Friday, you do have an option. You do have an option to start over and register in session 2. Okay, so registration for session 2 is open. Students can register for session 2 for an additional course that, you know, above and beyond what they're taking in session 1. Or, like I just mentioned a minute ago, if you are in session 1 and by this Friday during midterms, if you think that you'd want to start over and completely start over, so whatever work you've done won't be able to be carried over. If you choose to start the same course in session 2, you'd also have potentially a different teacher, but you are able to make that switch. But again, I'm just going to repeat it again. You will have to take the course completely over from the beginning. Okay, and so that is a possibility, and registration is open until next Friday. Okay. Is it too late to change courses? I just mentioned that, Melly. Wait. Okay. Depends on teacher. How long should it take for a course withdrawal to process? Justin, we're definitely doing our best to turn over emails and requests that are made. We have thousands of requests, but rest assured that we have all of those requests and that we will be processing them as soon as possible. Okay? All right. So next question. Next question is coming in from, okay, from Brittany. What do I do if I can't find my course on the website? Then you have to let me know, and I will investigate that for you. Okay, just one second. Okay, so we've got another question. And in terms of, you know, emailing me, that would be the best thing to do, is to email me and include information like your OEN number, identify yourself as TCDSB student or non-TCDSB student. If you are a TCDSB student, please include your current day school as well as your network ID. Okay. We've got a question here from Gloria. Will our marks be sent directly to universities, or do we have to arrange that ourselves? Awesome question. Is one of my items here that I wanted to share an update on with you. So for students that are day school students with the Toronto Catholic District School Board, so if you are a Toronto Catholic District School Board student, your marks to OUAC and OCAS for university and college applications will automatically be transferred on August 4th at 5 p.m. Okay, that's for session 1. Non-Toronto Catholic student, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come by to the board office when report cards are being picked up, and you're going to have to drive over the report card to your school board, and they're going to have to process the update and transfer the mark for you. Okay? Or, like Mr. Gozio here mentioned, the vice principal of the program, you may have to literally drive over to the university that you're applying to or college, and you will have to bring them a copy of the report card directly. Okay? All right, next question. Is it possible, at all possible to get a digital copy of our midterm? We won't be able to share an official report card because it's actually not official if it's a digital copy. Request a copy and print, and we'll print one out for you. I'll sign it, and then you can pick it up at the board office. Okay. Okay, we got a question from Sylvia. How do we, as parents, keep track of assignments and whether our children are managing the curriculum? I am having technical issues and I cannot hear the live stream. Are you able to write a response? For sure. Okay, so I'm just going to type in my response. So parents can log in with, I'm just typing here on the chat here on the side, okay? Parents can log in with their son or daughter and you can set up to receive email notifications. Okay, so I just popped that in there. So parents can actually, and students can set up email notifications. And so whenever a teacher posts a new news item, for example, which is space to share information and updates and instructions in terms of where students should be, what they're focusing on, tasks for the day, for the week, for the month. Once those items are posted, you can set it up so that you can receive an email notification, okay? I did mention that in a prior broadcast, but what I will do is I will model how to set up your notifications, okay? So I'm just going to share my screen. And here we go. Okay, so here we are on the homepage once you've logged in to the e-learning platform. And what you can do is you can go into your drop-down menu here next to your name. And under notifications, you click on notifications. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your email address here is your external email address, okay? So for example, I've got the board email here. So for you guys can set up Gmail or any other email that you have and just have it set up there. And then I would scroll down the page and I would check off the news item updated box here and also new news item available. So whenever your teacher posts a new news item, or let's say that they update an existing news item, you will receive notifications and then you just hit save and then everything is done. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up because you know, a lot of students that are taking courses right now, they're going to want to know, you know, when am I checking in? When do I have to go to course and have a look at what's been shared? And an easy way to keep track of that information is by setting up notifications. Okay. All right. Looking at Marlo here, are assignments the same in session 1 and session 2? I assume content is the same. So the platform is the same. The course shell, in terms of space, offers you the same opportunities. For example, news items, Dropbox, quizzes, discussions. But in terms of the content, even though the content could be very similar, teachers are creating different assessments, different evaluations, different culminating tasks, different quizzes, different final exams, so they won't be exactly identical. Okay, and just like in regular day school, there's, you know, different evaluations, okay, and different activities, because that's the whole, you know, skill set of the teacher, in that they're facilitating a whole bunch of different activities so that you can, as students, have different opportunities to develop a deeper level of understanding or acquire a deeper level of understanding, but also learn the material in a whole bunch of different ways, right? So that you're not always just doing quizzes or just tests, but expressing your understanding in a whole bunch of different ways. Okay. Claire, sorry, I might have missed this. Will we get our midterm report cards on the system or by email? I don't need it printed. No, Claire, I don't think I basically tried to identify how you can achieve, or rather acquire, a copy of your midterm mark, and that would be to request it, and then we'll print it out, sign it. You can pick it up at the board office. But if you don't choose that option, you should still know what your mark is within your online course. And so I've invited teachers to share midterm marks, declare them as officially midterm marks, just like they would a regular mark update. And so Whether your teacher has that conversation with you one-on-one over the phone or through email within the email of the course, they may choose to do that, or they may choose to just post a class list with updated marks, and you'd be able to identify your mark based on your student number. And so the big thing here is that if you're a Toronto Catholic student, your student number is the same as you would have a student number in day school. But if you're looking at the marks list and you don't recognize your student number, it's probably because you're a non-Toronto Catholic student, which means you've been issued a new student number as being part of our board this summer. It wouldn't be the same student number as you would have in your own day school, which is a non-Toronto Catholic day school. Yeah, so there's the two big things. If you're a Toronto Catholic student, your student number is going to be the same. If you're a non-Toronto Catholic student, your student number will not be the same. You just have to have that conversation with your teacher and say, "Sir, miss, I don't see my mark update because I don't know which is my student number," and then they will clarify that for you. And the last distinction, thanks to Mr. Gozio, my right-hand man here, he wanted to identify that your student number is not your OEN number. Okay, so they're completely different, and they're. If, for example, a teacher were to post an update by OEN, I don't know if that's even a possibility in terms of the printouts that they have available to them, but student number and OEN are not the same, definitely. Okay. All right, great questions, folks. Okay, looking at Adriana. When would exam review weeks start? So in terms of preparation for final exams, final exams is a big sort of talking point here. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. First and foremost, if you are in a grade 12 university level course, you are expected to be completing a face-to-face final exam. Okay? And that final exam is going to take place on July the 27th at the board office, which is at 80 Shepherd Avenue East. Okay? Excuse me. The next really big piece of information that everyone needs to be clear on, grade 12 university level students that are writing face-to-face exams, the day is set aside as July 27th, and what students are expected to prepare for and plan for in their schedule is that the exam could take place in the morning or the afternoon. We've had a significant influx of registration of students that have joined our program such that we cannot accommodate all exams all at once, okay? So please be alerted that we will share very, very soon that there will be courses that will write their exam in the morning, and then there'll be courses that will write their exam in the afternoon. So in terms of the cutoffs, when you have an exam in the morning, the exam will be scheduled from 9 to 12 in that range, okay? Definitely starting by 9 o'clock. If your class is scheduled to write an exam in the afternoon, then the exam will be written from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in that time frame, starting at 1 o'clock, okay? And that's it. So it's going to be completely randomized. There's not going to be any preferential treatment. We literally have approximately 26 classes that are writing final exams, and we are going to randomize that whole process. And those that are selected through the randomization process will go and again be given a time slot, which will be either the AM or PM. We will share this information with teachers right away. They will share with their students right away. And at the same time, I invite you to go to www.tcdsb.org/eClass for regular program updates and the exam schedule, okay? So again, very, very clearly, I want to repeat, if you are a grade 12 university level student, for session 1, your exam is scheduled for Thursday, July the 27th, okay? And the expectation is that you need to make yourself available that whole day in case your exam is in the morning versus the afternoon, or in the afternoon versus the morning. And that clarity around when exams are happening will be shared definitely by this week. Okay? All right. Going back to the chat, we have an awesome chat going on here. So Shoba, where's the Google form to request a midterm report card? So you can email me and I will send that to you directly. If not, I just don't want to go on different screens. If not, you can ask your teacher as well, because I've shared the URL to the Google form with your teacher. Okay. Next question. 2 of my classes just got canceled and I need a new class in order to get the credit. How about do I go and do that? Okay. Thank you. It's like when I'm reading the chat here, you're reading my mind in terms of my talking points. The other reason why you're going to want to go to the eClass website for updates is we want to give you a whole bunch of time to plan, make good decisions, and not negatively impact on your summer and the experience with you know, trying to take an online course. So we've published, as of yesterday, 2 days in anticipation, really, that courses have been canceled. And some of those courses, there's only 4 right now that have been posted on our eClass website. There were only a few students that registered, so we had to make a decision. So all of our support staff here that are working as part of our team have contacted all students that are in those courses that have been canceled, and we've invited them to consider another option. Okay. We tried reaching everyone, and some of the contact information that was shared was not exactly active. So we're going to keep calling those numbers and keep emailing those email addresses that we have on file that we pulled in when you registered online. I'm talking about the non-Toronto Catholic students. So if you do notice that come the beginning of session 2, which starts next Tuesday, there's no course populating in your space, so that there's no teacher, there's no content, that means that that course has been canceled. Okay? So what you're going to want to do is get a hold of me and specify that you are a Toronto Catholic student. This is your day school. This is your network ID, and this is the course that you thought you were registered for. And if you can get an update, if you're a non-Toronto Catholic student, identify yourself as non-Toronto Catholic, but also share your OEN number and the course that you registered for, and again, request an update on what's happening with the course. Okay. Steph Clayton. Is that Stephanie Clayton? All right, cool. If we would like to boost our mark, can we, and how would we do that? So there's no perfect explanation to boosting your mark. The bottom line is if you're having those regular communications and conversations with your teacher knows how hard you're working and how hard you're trying. And they want nothing more than for you to continue progressing and developing and improving upon your performance and developing your skills. And so going forward, you want to have that conversation with your teacher and say, sir, miss, I'm just wondering, with one of my assignments, I know I was struggling, but I worked really hard to improve upon it. Is it possible to drop that one assignment and in place put in the assignment that I did well on? We can't drop everything. We can't ask teachers to keep marking everything, because again, there's a process to learning, and once that activity is completed and we move on, it's really hard to keep track of all the resubmissions and keep marking things over and over again. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to do that, given that there's anywhere from 30 to 40 students per class. But it doesn't mean that you stop learning, Stephanie. Just because you hand in an assignment, if you want to do things over again and continue improving upon that assignment, keep at it, because that whole resiliency and growth mindset and wanting to improve is going to get you places. So like I said, just to round out this discussion or this question, have that conversation with your teacher and talk about how you've been working really hard, and you would appreciate it if one of the quizzes, assignments, or tests that you did not do well on for whatever reason, that you've built upon that situation and you've continued to work hard. And if possible, if that one item could be dropped and replaced with something that more reflects your consistent performance. Okay. Okay, Mrs. Escobar. The teacher may have posted the assignment list in the calendar. Okay, so I guess you're responding to another student. Awesome. Lucky charms. Do universities care if you take eClass courses, for example? Not at all. E-learning courses are taken by anyone and everyone in the workplace to update your skill set. I actually took an e-learning course last night. It wasn't a full, well, I think we can call it a full course. It was a module that I had to complete. As a person who is in a managerial supervisory position, I was required to complete an e-learning module or an e-module on health and safety. So the whole world of online learning is viable, it is accepted, it is in every university, in every college, in every workplace. So it's definitely taken as a credit that goes towards applying to post-secondary. Okay. Next question. Our midterms say Monday, and the last day to drop is Friday the 14th or Friday the 21st. So your midterms, so the calendar that I shared has both information for students and teachers. So midterms for teachers are due on the Monday and on the same day, because we tried to give you that weekend for teachers to, mark work and complete reporting, because it's a lot of work in a short period of time. And for students, we also gave you an opportunity on that weekend to get in those assignments and get in that work so that you can submit it over the weekend and give teachers a chance to mark in time to include all of those items in your midterm for Monday morning, okay? And in terms of the drop date is on Friday the 21st, okay? If you want to wait till the Monday, you can. The 21st would be my suggestion, because it is the same day that, you had a little bit of time to process your midterm and see where you're at. Have those conversations with your teacher in terms of what your expectations are in the course. And not to say that we're just driven by marks, but if you have a certain mark in mind that you're trying to work towards, you want to have that conversation about, how can I achieve moving towards that mark? And if it's a possibility, which I think it's always possible, and you feel optimistic about it and your teacher does as well, then that hope is there that you should stay in the course. If not, you can request a drop by Friday the 21st. Okay? Okay, so I am currently in class for English summer school. Is there a way I can do eClass afterwards? Willie Alvaro, for sure. You can register for an eClass course up until Friday the 21st. And I wouldn't recommend waiting until then. Registration is open now. Started on time, which is on the Tuesday the 18th. Okay. Alexandra, is it possible to take 2 eClass courses in the same session? Yes, it is. I might have missed you talking about this. Will our marks be, if we're applying to OUAC, are they going to be sent? So Gloria Gloglo, so if you're a Toronto Catholic student, they will automatically be transferred over to OCAS and OUAC for university and college applications on August the 4th at 5 p.m. If you're a non-Toronto Catholic student, you're going to have to come pick up your report card and either take it to the institution, the university or college that you're applying to, or bringing it to your school board so that they can update your information and transfer the mark for you, or take it to your school when they open and they will update that information for you. Okay? Okay, just looking. Wow, lots of questions. Awesome. If we are not at the TCDSB, how does your school know we have already gotten the credit? So you have to bring your report card over to the to your school board. Okay. Okay. I can see that some of you are chatting with one another and helping each other in terms of sharing information, which is awesome. Isabel, are there going to be midterm exams? No, not that I know of. You know, within your course, there are regular evaluations, but not to my knowledge will there be midterm exams across the board in every course. Okay. My daughter is in civics. Seishi Johnson. My daughter is in civics and also careers, and I was wondering if there is an exam for the students. Question for your teacher. There is no face-to-face exam, but there could be a culminating activity or an online exam that that is in, you know, every single course. So you're going to want to follow up with your teacher to get that information, and also not just follow up and get a date and get clarity, but find out, you know, how do you prepare for the exam? How do you get that regular feedback on your culminating tasks so that you're submitting something that is finished, that is on time, that is finished, that has been reviewed, that you've reflected on, you've constantly improved. And when you submit it, it's not just a last minute submission, but it's something that you've been working on to improve over time. Okay. Dr. Brandon 8506, can you add a shout box on the TCDSB site so if we have any questions, students and teachers can reply? Because my teacher takes long to reply and I'm handing in assignments late because I need help. Great question. So in terms of the workflow of getting a hold of your teacher, when you email your teacher, you can make that request and say, sir, miss, I've noticed that I've been submitting work late for whatever reason. Is there an opportunity for me to be online with you at the same time once a week? Or is there an opportunity where if I were to submit work within a certain time frame that the teacher establishes with the student, is there a way to schedule that I will get the feedback or I will get a response by a certain time so that I can progress in my work? So just ask for that support. They will definitely work with you to establish a schedule. Okay. Is there a contact information area where teacher contact information is found? So teacher information is basically the name of the teacher, which is in your class list. It's also, the last name is also in the title of your course, but you also have contact information via the online course, and that information is their contact information. There's no phone number, there's no cell number, that information is not shared, but rather the email address is there and it's within the course, and teachers receive that email and check that email frequently. Okay. No problem. Can I go to the school board and sign up for another eClass? Absolutely. We have, that's another point I wanted to mention. We have a teacher on site. We also have our support staff that are supporting password resets and registration. All of that good stuff is happening downstairs in the main lobby area. And you just need to pop in. We're here from 10 to 5. But if you want exact dates, because I believe it might be 10 to 7, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. I don't want to flip between screens here, but just check our eClass website and all the schedule, every schedule is there around the dates and times and what's available for support, okay? I use WordPad on my computer. Is it possible to get the assignments in WordPad format? Because some information might be cut off when I get the work. In terms of the workflow, that I think you need to reach out to your teacher and establish what would be convenient. If it's not WordPad, could a Google Doc help you out, because that would be something that you can access easily. So, and you don't have to install anything on your computer, okay? So have that conversation with your teacher. Is there an in-class exam for grade 11 chemistry? It's the Kirk. No, there is no in-class exam for grade 11 courses, okay? So just to clarify, we can request our midterms by emailing our teachers. Also, if we are non-TCDSB, should we actually go into the office and get a report card? Yes. So Hosiak Lee, sorry for butchering names here. You can request a midterm report card through completing a Google form that I shared with your teacher. Okay, and then once that request comes in, this Monday after 1 p.m. in the afternoon, so between 1 and 4 p.m., as early as next Monday that's coming up, you can pick up your report card at the board office, okay? All right. My child is in TCDSB. How will she know if she passes her classes, and how will her school know? So first off, students will know that what they're achieving by checking within their course and reaching out to their teacher and asking for regular mark updates. The second thing is, once report cards are printed for TCDSB students, we send copies to the day school. Okay, so then each day school will include a copy of the report card in their the student's OSR. Okay. It'll also be recorded within our student information system so that when you look at a transcript or a credit counseling summary, it'll be identified there. Okay. When does session 2 start? Is it possible for me to move into session 2 from English Media Studies, grade 11? So in terms of moving into session 2, students can move into session 2 again with the understanding that they have to start the course completely from scratch. Okay. The other thing is, if my memory serves me well, English Media Studies only has a few students, so it's not going to be running in session 2. Okay, so you won't be able to transfer into that course for session 2. Are teachers expected to hold online lessons for assignments, or is everything just like a self-taught course? So Abisha, in terms of how the learning looks like and what the experience is like, is completely dependent on students and teachers. I took it upon myself to really try to put myself out there and get to know you guys, and allow you to get to know me. And so I've hosted these live sessions. And I recorded them and made them available so that if you're working during the day or if you're busy during the day, you can watch these at any time, and then you can still comment on them. And I get notifications on my phone, and I keep in touch with people. In terms of what teachers are doing, they're doing a whole bunch of things. And so if you have a specific interest in having a live session, or if you have an appreciation or a preference for videos, you can have that conversation with your teacher and start it out and say, I would appreciate it if there was a video broadcast. It doesn't necessarily mean that your camera has to be turned on and you have to see anyone, but if someone could display their screen and talk over or talk in sync with the screen and what's being displayed as part of an explanation, then you can ask your teacher to do that, and see if you can work something out. The expectation is that you guys support each other, right? The other thing is, you might want to take it upon yourself to try one of these tools that help you record, screen capture, and then narrate what's happening at the same time, and share that with your teacher. And that would be pretty cool, right? And with your own classmates. So have that conversation with your teacher. They're always learning just like you are, and I'm sure they're always open to ideas. Okay. Okay, Catherine, is there ever going to be a chance where we can meet our eClass teacher? If you're taking a grade 12 university level course, you'll be able to meet them during your face-to-face exam, but everyone else, there is no mandatory face-to-face session. Okay. Daniel, my guidance counselor told me to put my parents' email, and they're the only ones getting emails about these live streams. And so I'm in session 2, so how would I solve the problem? Sorry, Daniel, I just have access to 4,500 emails, and I haven't kept them as a group because they continue to change, right, as new students grow, or enroll rather. You're watching my YouTube stream right now. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can just subscribe to the channel. And then once you subscribe to the channel, you will receive notifications of when these streams are happening. Okay? And I've noticed that a whole bunch of people have subscribed, which is awesome. No problem, Shacy, no problem. So folks, I'm just going to check my list here to make sure I've covered everything. So I made sure that I gave you awesome information. I think as I'm scanning this, I think we've covered everything. So I'm an email away should you need anything, as is your teacher and your classmates as well. I'm hoping that you're enjoying your experience. I'm hoping that you're also getting some time to have some fun over the summer and some downtime connecting with friends and family. And that's it. So I'm an email away. My extension is 2706 at the board office. It's hard to answer all phone calls, but I'm definitely pretty quick on the email. Okay, you can also email eregister@tcdsb.org for any requests that you make around dropping a course, should you need to drop a course. Okay. Question just came in from Catherine. When do we do online quizzes? Where can we see our grades for the quiz? So Catherine, great question, because it seems to me that you're fully engaged in your course and you're trying to do well, which is awesome. So what you need to do is, no problem, Mark. What you need to do is reach out to your teacher, and by reaching out, just go to your course class list. And so if you go to your course class list, once you identify the teacher, because their role is going to be identified as teacher, click on their name. And then once you click on their name, it automatically opens up a window to send them an email directly. Okay? And then ask them this question or any questions you have. Okay? ZWUKED. I sent an email to drop out, but I'm still in the course. We will try to catch up to everything. Okay? So we're doing our best. If you've sent the email, it's definitely in queue, and we're going to try to turn that over as soon as possible. Okay? All right. All right. So you guys take care for now. And again, I'm just one phone call or one email away, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye for now.